In this quick video, I'm going to show you how to build an Adobe CID builder that uses UTM parameters so that you can keep your campaign tracking clean. The reason why I'm doing this for us is that we are launching a new influencer campaign. We wanted to build a form just for our influencers where we could make sure that everything that they put out had the correct link structure and it was organized to our standards, right? So in this case, what I did is I went to UTM Smart Manager. I have an account, and they have all these templates, right? So I just clicked on the Adobe CID generator slash or parentheses card, and this is a template that does the trick for us, at least for our purposes in this campaign. We do have other forms that we like to use, but for influencers, this is more than enough that we can use for our campaign. So all you got to do, click on the template, and we're going to copy it. So I went to duplicated form, and it takes me to the exact template settings that everyone has. And here I have new fields. I have our organization fields, which can be applied across our forms. But we're not going to do that for the purposes of this video. We're just going to show you basically how do we begin customizing it. So the first thing I want to do is I want to decide, does it fit our brand standards? And for right now, I'm just going to make a few edits really quick. I don't like the active color to be purple. I'm going to change the submit button to this color, and I'm going to change the label to build CID link. I will make it a little wider just to make sure it doesn't collapse. And that's really what I want to do. I could change the field settings. I just like outlined. I don't know why. Personal preference. We use it in all our forms and it seems to work really well. Okay, so next is our layout, right? So we do have some text here that I'm okay using. This text here, it talks about the settings for every field. And I could go in and start messing with every field settings. And as you can see here for ad set name, I can make it required. I'm not going to do that. Encode upon submit, I'm going to keep that. Replace empty values, right? Maybe you want to change the name from ad set to UTM content. It really is this simple. The tool guides you through all of these things. No caps again, make sure it's underscored. Do you want a dependent field, right? Don't let anyone fill this out until campaign name is filled out. And we can make sure that there's no errors. So here we go. We have one more thing that I want to change, and in this case, I just want to change this icon. Let's pick something else. When you have Asset Manager or Asset Studio, sorry, you get this digital asset manager with the platform, and this is where we store, a lot of our assets for our campaigns. So I'm going to change it to this really quick. I like it, and I am now okay with the layout. I'm going to keep this date. There's a date picker here. I like this one, and you'll see why here. So this is a list view. This is where I manage all my drop downs for this particular form. I don't have any organizational fields or smart lists in here yet because I didn't drag it from the layout into from those fields on the left into the layout. But I do want to do a couple of things. So I think the objectives that they're going to work on, we're going to add one here. And we're going to make this a little smarter. The template doesn't have dependencies that I'm noticing. So rather than go and add dependencies for everyone, I'm just going to show you what it's like to do it. So I clicked on the Google. So if someone selects Google, what are the dependencies that we want? Well, go to Medium and only show, CPC. Or if someone selects, let's see, what's another good one? YouTube, right? So I want to only show mediums, and I want it to only be video. And I'm going to click on done, right? When you make changes here, it's very important that you click on save down here. This is specific for the list, like an Excel, right? You have to save locally sometimes. We'll go through that here. Next thing I want to do, what happens when I click on submit? Well, in this case, I want a card because I want quick links to show up, not a table view. And this has to align with how you set up your tracking code in Adobe, or it's not going to work, right? So in this case, we have a CID campaign variable. Our tracking code can work through this. We have a regex in the background that will split it up for us. But you can do a couple of new things. I'm not going to go into it. But let's say you didn't have date as one of your parameters. All right, so delete it, right? Let's say you used a different delimiter that's not this, but double. Okay, add doubles where they're singles, and so on and so forth. The beauty of this is it is quite simple to manage. As you saw right here, I just add delimiter and date. And now every link is going to have those parameters, right? You don't have to code. You don't have to ask anyone. If you're an admin, you can go ahead and do this for the form. And you can modify this campaign link. I think this is all correct. All right, I'm going to click on Done. That saves the changes. And I am going to rename it into something else, UTM CID Builder for influencers. Let's just call this UTM influencer campaign summer, whatever we want for a description. Okay, so really quick, what did we do? We modified the design. We looked at the layout. We saw that it was something that we liked. And then we went on to lists. I added one here, right? And then I added a few dependencies just to show you. Then we went to submit. And then we just renamed the form, added a description. I could have added a vanity URL. I think we're okay for the purpose of this video. So all I have to do is I can preview it. I know I like it already, so I'm just going to click on publish. And with this few minutes worth of work, all of our influencers are now going to stop messing up our reporting because their data will be controlled. We are going to have standardization of all of our CID links for every single person, consultant, influencer that we use who uses this form, right? And the beauty is all of those submissions are now accessible to us. So we are going to, let's just go to the form and see what that's like. So in here I have my brand new form. You can see it. I'm going to go on testing. Let's just say, pretend this is an influencer who only does Google, right? And they get paid for awareness clicks. And they're going to say campaign. Remember how we added a dependency? This needs to be filled out. So content, add name. And this is our date one. The ones or the numbers that are darker will go on the CID link. The ones on the right are the hints. So we use that because we have a lot of abbreviations, and sometimes hints can get messy, or abbreviations can get messy. So click on Build CID link. Here is your link, right? You can copy, paste it wherever you want. And that's it. If you want to view your submissions, it is quite simple for the form. We will go here, click on submissions, and there is my first submission. And all I would have to do now is I can start messing with this for my reporting so that I could export it. If I want to view my full CID link, I would go here and view it and select it here. All right, well, I hope this helps. And yeah, feel free to leave any comments or messages down below if you have any questions or comments. All right, cheers.